And hello fellow takers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks. And today we are in Tier 10 British medium tank Centurion AX. Yeah, you haven't seen me play this tank in a long time. And reality is that I don't play this tank that much at all. This was basically break from my E3 grind. And I jumped into only like 3 or 4 games max in the Centurion AX, just to get a get a feel for what this tank is still like. I still like this tank for mobility, for the fact that the turret armor is pretty good. The gun, it's hit and miss, but it works every once in a while. But anyway, today's game is a game that I would not normally post. What you're gonna see today is an average game in Centurion AX. Very average, to be honest, when it comes to result. But it was interesting. It was interesting game because of the tactical aspect and what happened in a game. So that's the only reason I'm showing this game, because normally average games like this I'm not gonna be showing you guys. I don't know, unless you're interested with stuff like that. But in many cases, average game for Centurion AX is about 3.5, 4k damage. Somewhere in between there. Between 3 and 4k damage. Obviously you get worse games every once in a while. Already hits you, Death Star annihilates you, and you get games that you don't even get to 2k. It happens, right? But average expectation for this tank should be above 3k. That's what I would say. So anything that falls between 3 and 4k, I'm not going to show you guys. Unless it's really, really special or something different about it. And in this game, there'll be a lot of lead changes. There'll be a lot of strategy involved. So that's why I decided to show it to you guys. Now, this was a beginning of my run. I was really lazy, as you can see. You gotta warm up sometimes at lower tiers to get the feel of your controller a little bit, so that your aiming is better, so on and so forth. In this case, I just jumped into tier 10, well, tier 9, tier 10, and I didn't really get much chance to kind of warm up. So you're gonna see me auto-aim a lot of shots early in the game, and that's a problem. If you don't have confidence in your aim, this is what's gonna happen, and you just tend to auto-aim a lot, and that's what I'm doing in this game, just auto-aiming. Anyway, the idea here, early in the game, is to win the flank. That's what I'm trying to do. As you can see, our team didn't really distribute that well. We have a tank destroyer in the city. There's a heavy tank in the middle of the map. But majority of our team is really on this side. So we really need to win this flank before we can think about doing anything else. The good thing about this game is that there's no arty. So I could be sitting in one spot and don't draw much attention for anything. Now, if arty was in the game and I was doing the same thing as I'm doing here, I would get punished severely. Definitely. Anyway, this chieftain is outnumbered now, so we're gonna move in on him. We're gonna try to take him out of the game and win this flank. And after we win this flank, it should be much easier, because now we will be able to stretch all the way to A3, A4 area, get the spots on the opponent's side of the field. Now, as you noticed, we have tank destroyer and a light tank in areas G6 and F7, and there's no sign of reds. There's only one heavy tank in town, which basically tells me that all of their team is camping. They're pretty much camping, and honestly, for the majority of the game, they will be camping, and they'll be hard to dig out. We're gonna have to use our brains in order to get to them, in order to get them down in health, get them down in numbers. But anyway, as you can see, I'm switching position now. I'm going to the center of the map. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because we already won this flank. And because we won this flank, and we have control over A2, A3, I was expecting these guys that are on top of the map to spot for me. And if they're spotting for our team, then there's no one really in the middle to take these shots in order to put some damage into these guys. But before I actually get into the position, our heavy tank, which was the machine, gets taken out of the game. FV4202 draws near and takes him out. So I'm taking a big chance over here trying to take this object 260 out. Now the reason why I did that regardless is because he serves as a spotter. He's really close to the ridge where we are at, where our tanks are at. So once we take him out of the game, that threat is gone. But I was really worried here that FV422 is going to start paying attention to me. The one that actually went and made it up to A1, B2 right now, or B1. So now it changes my plan again. I was going to sit in the middle and, you know, be in a ready state to kind of fire, be a damage dealer. But because that FV422 is on our side of the field, on our flank, I have to support my light tank and my tank destroyer. I simply don't trust them. You know, light tank probably be able to handle him by himself, but I don't know what skill level these guys are. And in randoms, that's exactly what happens. So I decided to draw back, put a couple of shells into this guy if I can. I put one in, and he gets taken out. So, again, this flank is clear now. What is the next thing I should be worried about? You know, I keep on thinking that my team is not capable, right? The way I play the game, especially in randoms, if I don't platoon, in many cases, I have to assume that our players are not very capable, that they will not be able to kill people or kill tanks. So, I basically pay attention to every area of the map, and I don't know, maybe it's a thing that I shouldn't be doing. Maybe it's something that doesn't allow me to get better results in my games, but I'm trying to win game as much as possible, and me assuming that my team is not really that good gives me opportunity to win, because I need to be in an area where I can support my friendlies. Don't only think about myself and what I need to do and get my damage, you know. So regardless, I find myself in this position now here because I thought that the Reds are actually going to scoot through the middle of the field here. They're maybe going to try to go into the cap area, but it's not happening now. One important thing, guys, to mention here at this moment is our heavy tank that is currently in K2. His gun is completely out of the game. It's a chieftain. That guy is in a chieftain. It has a rapid firing gun, high DPM gun, and he's not using it. So at this point in time, if there's nothing happening and you're sitting in one quadrant or one area of the map for such a long time, you know that there's nothing happening. You gotta change position. You gotta get your gun into play. If your gun is not in play, obviously you're not doing anything to help the team win. First of all, he's not spotting, he's not engaging, he's just sitting there. He could have been at the same time with me here in this position and try to push over the ridge and try to get some shots across instead of sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Regardless, what I'm trying to do is get closer here, but all of a sudden I realize that there's a camp in E4 back at A6. Now that's a problem, because if I push any closer and I get spotted, I'm gonna get demolished. So I put one shell into this guy and I'm gonna back out again. Again, being very wary of positioning of the opposition tanks, as well as my own position. Am I in danger? Can I get myself in a position where I can actually spot or fire, but be in safety? Do I have cover that I can drop into, like this house on my right hand side, or this tank on my left hand side? This is part of decision making and thinking when you guys are in the game. Remember, protecting yourself is the most important thing. Yes, your gun has to fire, but you have to be safe when you fire your gun. That's the very important thing. So I get this E4 right here, clean shot at him. Unfortunately, my shell misses. And here, this guy disappears, and that shell, I didn't put it in the right spot, and then all of a sudden I get spotted. So I hide behind the building, and that's why I have this building in front of me, so that all of these guys on the right hand side and in front of me they won't be able to hit me. So I'm only isolating the guy on the left, but in reality I was not expecting this E4 to make that play. He actually pushed just by himself and made that play, and made it difficult for us again. So what am I doing again? Exact same thing. I'm dropping into position where I can support my tank destroyer and my light tank, because they seem like they're not very capable of disposing whoever's there. So I'm thinking to myself, I gotta support these guys. I gotta drop back and be able, like, be in a kind of firing range so I can provide, you know, supporting fire if I need to. So that's what I'm doing again. I'm dropping into this position here. I'm gonna try to get closer. I don't see the E4 at this point. Now I see him. And I'm trying to line up a shot at him. Unfortunately, a tank destroyer gets taken out. This guy's gonna scoot from behind the building. We managed to put one shell into him, but he disappears all of a sudden. Our light tank is kind of running around in circles around this guy. So I'm thinking, dude, just drop. Let us help you out here, you know? You don't have to do it all by yourself. Especially if he gets snapped by a Death Star that's still sitting there. There's still T-57 that's on the opposing team. It would be trouble. But luckily, our light tank manages to dispose of the E4. And now again, we have control of this flank. So many different things, so many different scenarios that happen here. We lost the flank, we won the flank. We lost the flank, we won the flank again. We don't have any control in the middle. Absolutely. Actually, if opposition team put one of the tank destroyers in the middle, they probably would be able to spot us. But all of a sudden, we're in advantage and the opposing team is in disadvantage because this tier 10 heavy that's right in the middle right now gets outspotted and he's vulnerable to fire from me from this side of the field, and we managed to take him out of the game. So now it should be easy peasy. Next step is progress further. We should have vision over these guys. We have a light tank remaining. We have a medium tank in me. We also have E50M. So the vision advantage is on our side at this point in time, but we cannot throw our tanks away. We still have to make sure we're close to cover. So in case we get spotted, we have a place to hide. So that's what I keep doing. I keep doing the exact same thing. I'm just kind of moving bush to bush, little segment by little segment, to make sure that I don't get spotted. And if someone gets spotted, like this FV215B, then we have easy shots at them. Unfortunately, I fired the gun a little bit too late. E50M managed to take FV215B out, and now we have an advantage, but at the same time, our E50M gets taken out by something. And something that wasn't even spotted. So now we're gonna switch our flank again, use our mobility, do the same thing. You can see our light tank pushing hard at A-line. Everyone's gonna be distracted and looking at the light tank, pushing by the A-line. So that gives me opportunity to go back in the middle of the map and provide crossfire. This is vital. My position is vital. At the same time, our chieftain decided to grow a pair of balls, and he actually went for it, and he started engaging the opposing team instead of just camping the base. So I gotta support him as well. Unfortunately, this E4 is playing tricks on me, and I didn't know whether he was gonna go forward, backwards, so I missed his shot there. Here, I don't have a good shot. I aimed slightly bit too high, and my shell goes higher. I was like, holy shit, man, I gotta hit that shot. I was just kicking myself. I should be able to hit that shot. Unfortunately, our chieftain, our hero, our base camping hero goes down to FV-183, be the Death Star, and all of a sudden it's 2v2. So I decided to, you know, draw a little bit closer. I know Death Star is on reload, so even if he spots me, I don't care. He's not going to be able to shoot me, even though I am drawing separation between him and myself. There's a house right in front of me, but I'm just waiting for this E4 to poke out so I can take a shot at him. Yes, we put one shell into him. Our light tank's gonna round around him. We're gonna wait for another shot, but he gets taken out. So our light tank takes him out, and now the Death Star is just a single shot to both of us. So depends. It doesn't matter. If I get taken out, light tank should be able to take him out. If light tank gets taken out, I should be able to take out the Death Star out. But I'm gonna play it cautious. I'm gonna let our light tank go first because it seems like he wants to go. Death Star fires, so I know I'm free to poke out here and just take him out of the game. And we secure the win for the team. Weird game, guys. A lot of driving around. Actually, I did a lot more driving in this game than firing. And that's the problem. In the game, you want to do firing a lot more than you do driving. But in this situation, it was not the case. Anyway, let's take a look at the end plates. So we managed to put up, what, 3.7k damage, 1600 assisted. Nothing really special. Over 5k combined damage for this tank class 2 master. He finished second on the team, but the main reason I'm showing you this game, because it got kind of close at the end. I had to change my decision during the game quite often in order to think about what my team is gonna do, what the opposing team is gonna do. We lost the flank so many times, we won the flank. I had to reposition instead of firing my gun. I thought tactically it was an interesting game to show, but really as far as the actual damage goes, nothing really spectacular. Very average game for this tank. Anyway, let me know, guys, if you want to see games like this from time to time. I know high damage games and really close games are probably much nicer to watch, but every once in a while I have a game like that, so I could throw it on my channel. It doesn't really hurt. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.